tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Happy Monday, everyone. If you are tuning into AfterBuzzTV.com, this is the Amazing Race After Show for Season 26, Episode 10, Fruits of Our Labor. I'm your host, James Wallington, and with me across the table are...
What's up, guys? I'm Jessica Carroll.
Hey, everybody. I'm Justin Nichols.
Yay, we're back.
We're back.
Everyone's all here.
It's the best. It's the best day of the week.
It is.
We say this every week. Mondays are the best because we get to tune in and interact with you guys live on our YouTube. If you are watching right now, thank you so much. We really appreciate your loyalty.
There's the live.
There's always people having conversation on the YouTube feed before we even go live.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
So let's see.
For the super fans.
Yeah, we have quite a few people. So, it's playing.
Hey.
Just pause. Okay, so we have Steven Sosa, Marco Polo, Michael Rathborn, and of course Joseph Boza.
Of course,
I'm trying to see if there's anyone else in the chat right now that we can give a shout out to, and that's pretty much everyone that's having conversation. Oh, and Adam Millwood and Vic Minato. So thanks, guys, for tuning in live.
Yeah.
And of course, keep the conversation going as we recap Friday night's episode number 10, Fruits of Our Labor.
Yes.
Before we jump too far into it, and speaking of conversation from online, has there been any more online discussion? I've been kind of looking about what people think for our 10,000 views.
Oh.
Is that later? Are we going to talk about that later?
Well, I'm kind of disappointed.
Out there,
I don't know.
Yeah,
no, I'm glad you did because I'm kind of disappointed. I read back some comments last week and no one left suggestions.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't leave suggestions, what are we supposed to do?
Well, that's brilliant then. Then we get out of it.
No, I want to do it. I want to be part of the fun.
But we don't have too many weeks left because we're getting down to the final episode.
Yes,
so I
we
think
are.
that for everyone watching on YouTube later this week or listening right now, it is not too late. I think we still have 2 or 3 more episodes to go. Please remember, for reaching 10,000 views, we will do something ridiculous or wear something silly for the final episode. You guys suggest, we'll do our favorite suggestion.
Yes.
I remember last week someone did suggest putting pink in her hair like Marie. So that's a good suggestion, but we need more to choose from. We can't just have one suggestion to have you guys vote on. So if you're in that chat right now, like we said at the very beginning of this season before we started recapping it, is if one of our after shows hit 10,000 views, which of course it did.
Damn it.
We would do something crazy in the AfterBuzz studio, and we need suggestions. So comment as we go on tonight's recap and let us know what you guys think we should do for the final episode of the Amazing Race After Show.
Logistically, it'd be impossible. I think someone did throw out last week that we should do the final one in a hot tub.
Oh, that was a good
Can I
one.
get a hot tub? It'd be amazing, but just logistically, it'd be really hard to get microphones, electronics into a hot tub.
And near water, that might be a little scary.
Yeah. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah, I
Keep the suggestions coming.
A lot of people
Grown
have
up
said
there.
ladyboy outfits.
That would be funny. But I'm a lady, though. So what do I
Then
do?
you have to wear
A boy outfit?
a boy outfit. Yeah, a lady man outfit.
I love it. Oh, so Hot Tub After Show, Saul Perez, shout out to you, is also jumping in on that idea.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so episode 10, Fruits of Our Labor, the teams in this order: Laura and Tyler at 12:40 a.m., Haley and Blair at 1:07 a.m., then Jenny and Jelani, Mike and Rochelle, and then Matt and Ashley leaving at 2:27 a.m., so almost 2 hours after Laura and Tyler leave. On the mat, they rip open their clue, and the route info says that they will be traveling to the coastal city of Trujillo, Peru. Once they arrive, they must head to Plaza de Armas, where they must take part in a firework festivity. Once there, teams had to find the brass band, and the master of ceremonies would present them with departure times for the following morning.
Yeah.
We see the teams, of course, in their little interviews, starting off with I almost said Hare and Blaley. So Haley and Blair. We hear Blair saying that he's going to try to get better at listening, and she'll be better at,
Not
relaxing and not freaking out.
Yeah,
and he
how's
did
that
say
go
that,
for?
but he did say that they're 90% of the time fine, which again kind of goes back to what Marie said last week about how all we see is the edit. So if Blair's saying 90% of the time they're fine and 10% of the time we're fighting, we're only being chosen.
Was that the right way or was it the other way around?
I heard 90% fine and 10% fighting.
I think so. However, I think maybe he's being a little optimistic because you'll notice the other teams like Tyler and Laura, they call them like the complainers. They have another name for them. So, I mean, if it is truly only 10%, it seems like when all the other teams are around them, it must be at 10%.
Right.
Because I think maybe it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
Because the other teams have also picked up on the fact that she whines all
the time.
From what we're seeing, it's almost 90-10 the other way
around. Of course.
Yeah.
That's what James is saying.
Then we have Team SoCal. Of course, it's Laura's 30th birthday. Happy birthday to Laura. And she's also saying that being not part of a pre-existing relationship going into this race has been a lot easier. Just kind of reinstating that, there hasn't been a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. They're just kind of enjoying the race together, which I think has worked to the blind date couples' advantage because as we see, 3 of the 5 teams left at this point are all blind date couples.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we see them, leave the mat. They go check in at the travel agency. Laura and Tyler made a mistake at the travel agency. They decided not to ask about other options for flights. They did not read their clue about how they did have the right to explore their options. Whereas Blair and Haley and Jenny and Jelani both made sure to ask the travel agent what are their options, which got them in almost 12 hours ahead of all the other teams.
Right.
Do you guys think this was a huge mistake for them?
I was surprised. I mean, Laura and Tyler, this whole season so far, they haven't really made any big mistakes.
They're really smart racers.
Really smart racers. And so when they just didn't ask that question, I was shocked. And you know what? I mean, not to blame Laura at all, but when it's your birthday, you're kind of excited to celebrate and
go out.
And when she found out that she had the night off, she was like, let's go get drinks. And so honestly, she might have just, not been necessarily in game mode and more in like birthday mode, which is totally okay. I'm a big birthday person. I think you need to celebrate birthdays. So I really think that was kind of what got in the way. But I was really shocked.
I was too, because I feel like everyone's going to make a mistake on the race. And hopefully, though, it's a mistake because it was something very challenging. But trying to get the earliest flight possible is Amazing Race 101.
Yeah.
This was a mistake that was so easily correctable. No matter what, no matter how tired you are, no matter what birthday it is, you should want to be like, is this the earliest flight? If not, do you have an earlier flight? That should be the first words out of your mouth at every travel agency.
Well, especially being on like 10, that should, like you said, Amazing Race 101. You guys are so close to the end, you don't want to make a mistake like that.
Right.
What if they had been the only team that was 12 hours behind? They would have been home.
They would have been, going home.
The nice part is that luckily when you did get into Peru, like you were saying, they were ahead 12 hours, but then when you get to choose a time to depart the next day, they were not that spread apart. So there was it wasn't quite an equalizer, but at least they made up for time when they got to Peru.
And people are actually saying that Tyler did make another mistake previously when he forgot his fanny pack.
Yep.
And they had to go back. So this is now their second mistake, which is pretty good in the whole season. But they need to keep their heads in the game. So
I need them to win. So no more mistakes, guys.
I want them to win. I really like them. I love them.
Frobby Troda, one of our viewers tuning in live right now, said, I think Laura just really wanted to celebrate her birthday in a party town. Of course, it's Amsterdam. Why not?
Right.
And then we also have Saul Perez. I'll be joining her in the Dirty 30 in a month. So happy early birthday, Saul Perez.
When's Saul Perez's? Mine's June 18th, 30.
Saul Perez, we want to know, as you heard Justin say, your birthday. When is it next month?
Maybe we're both turning 30 on the same day.
Dirty 30.
So crazy.
Dirty 30.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's so depressing.
As the teams head to Peru, of course, Blair and Haley, Jenny and Jelani are in Peru 12 hours before Mike and Rochelle, Laura and Tyler, Matt and Ashley. Once they arrive at the Plaza de Armas, they met with the Master of Ceremonies and got their next clue. Both of them received a 7 a.m. departure the next morning, which, as we know about the other flight, they weren't going to get into like 9:30, 10.
Right.
So they're already starting the leg in Peru about 2.5, 3 hours before all the other teams. So they have a huge
advantage,
leg. Huge advantage on this leg. Let's see what else I wrote there. The route info instructed them to travel to Plazuela de la Merced, where they had to find a shine with the morning sun and figure out their next clue was at a shoe shine stand.
And I just want to point out that Haley said when she got to the airport or when she landed in Peru, that they had been traveling for 22 hours. That just shows that Amazing Race is go, 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 go.
Grueling.
Right.
When did you see her birthday was? June?
June 18th.
Okay, well, it looks like Saul Perez is June 18th.
June 18th.
And get this, Marco Polo 310 also has a birthday on June 18th.
Happy birthday,
I feel
all
like
you
you
guys.
are pulling my legs. I said June 18th is my birthday. Really?
Yeah.
That's what they said.
June 18th, party.
That's just one
It's
lucky
going
day.
on. It's the best day. What can I say? Sorry about your luck, James and Jess, but your birthday's on the wrong day. Okay.
So, what did you guys think about how Blair and Haley started arguing again, trying to get to the next thing after they got their shoe shine on?
Oh my gosh, they just argue all the time, especially about directions.
Always directions.
It's constant.
And it goes back to the exact same thing we talked about last week, where Haley really is pretty smart when it comes to her racing. It's how she chooses to speak her mind, because once again she was right and once again Blair wasn't listening. However, the way she approaches it and the way she presents her thoughts to Blair, I think I would block her out too. So I don't know who to agree with, because Haley, she's good, she really is, but I can't.
It's
listen.
communication. Communication is key.
And the way you communicate, like the way Haley is handling
Approach it,
it's why Blair keeps shutting down and blocking her out. Maybe if she approached it with a different tact, maybe Blair would be like, all right, I'm actually going to listen to you right now. But
No.
Oh, he does redeem himself, because we'll talk about it more later. But what's great about finally getting into Peru for Blair is that we didn't know this, but he's pretty fluent in Spanish, which is a huge advantage for any racers. Just like the Afghanimals when they were in the Middle East, it's super helpful when you're able to speak the native language.
Right.
So I think Blair's just trying to do the right thing and get directions. Unfortunately, it was just taking a little too long for Haley's liking.
Yeah, and that was huge for Tyler this episode, because he was able to communicate their language.
Right, and Fabi Troda just said, I think if Blair did not have the Spanish skills, they would definitely have been more bickering between them during this leg.
Agree.
And Blair, I think he made a really good point when he was in the back of the taxi cab with Haley. He said, let's work together and not against each other. And that kind of seems to be this battle they've been having the entire race, is that she always wants to battle with him rather than work together.
Right.
But for some reason, it's one of those things, though. I think there was a team last season, I just can't remember them, I apologize, but maybe it's one of those things, though, where them fighting all the time, it seems to work. Like, I don't know why.
It does.
But, watching one of those freaky things where if they got along, they maybe would have been a disaster. But they're now in the top, they're already, in this episode, they're in the top 5, and it's like, wow. I mean, we criticize it, but hell, it's working.
Right.
So maybe just keep fighting.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. It goes back to what they said at the beginning of the episode. Blair saying we're 90% fine, 10% fighting. And so we're not seeing the full picture. We're seeing the slices that producers want to throw our way, because you need big characters for a reality show. And Haley just happens to be that big character.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Now, there's only blind couples left.
But
Mike
also
and
Mike and
Rochelle.
Rochelle, Truck Stop Love.
They're the only,
they're the only
last
ones,
remaining.
But
Right.
you know what, though? But for Blair, though, he wasn't the only one that struggled even trying to find the shoe shine, because it must have been very complicated with the directions, or there must have been a plaza with a similar name, because all the teams really struggled trying to find this plaza, when it turns out it wasn't that far at all.
Right.
It was.
But for some reason, most of the teams thought it was a very long ways away, and it seemed to be an issue.
Well, because we saw Laura and Tyler, now that the other 3 teams are in Peru at this point, we saw Laura and Tyler ask about that, and then people kept saying, it's far away, it's far away. And I think since there wasn't a clue box next to the shoe shine thing, it wasn't a dead giveaway. And I think a lot of them had a hard time actually coming up with the idea, oh, it's a shoe shine stand.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt bad for Matt and Ashley, the hairstylist, because Tyler and Laura are good racers, Matt and Ashley kind of was like, oh, hey guys, is this it? And they were like, and they were in the exact right spot,
Yeah.
like feet away from it. And then they were like, no, it's a long ways away. And so Matt and Ashley, when they arrived, they just blindly followed Tyler and Laura.
Yeah.
And it's just too bad that they're both on Team Justin, because at this point I'd have been like, ha 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 ha, if it was a different team. I was like, no, both my teams are going the wrong way.
Right. Well, and actually everyone got in a taxi except for Mike and Rochelle. And when they were like, oh, you guys, let's grab the clue and then go this way so no one else sees. Once again, we see Mike and Rochelle step up their game, because everyone else frantically got in a taxi, drove off until they realized. And I was especially shocked once again with Laura, Laura, I'm not really sure what was going on, girl. But when she saw the speed bump, you would think that she would go to the speed bump, kind of check it out, see if there was the clue. But instead, she just saw it and then got in the taxi.
Or at least pointed it out and like, Tyler, the speed bump's right there. The clue's got to be here somewhere.
Right.
Whereas when they were driving in the taxi, thinking that they were going to the right place, that's when she just casually brought up, oh yeah, I saw the speed bump back there. And Tyler was like, hold up, what?
Yeah. And then that was good for on Tyler's behalf to be like, wait, you saw the speed bump, then the clue must be there.
But I loved how she presented it because she thought she was being mischievous because she was like, oh, ha, 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 I saw their speed bump.
Right.
Like, I know they have to do it there. Like, she was so excited that she saw it. And then he was like, yeah, like you said, James, hold on, girl. What?
Wait, yeah.
Like, come on now. But you know what? Mike and Rochelle are a perfect example of, who comes in first, the tortoise or the hare. Because they are never the fastest team. They're never the strongest team, but they're just so slow and steady. Let's think things through. Here's a speed bump. It must be nearby, and it's working.
Well, we see nerves get in the way sometimes, and they are just like you said, calm. They talk it out with each other. They don't do anything too fast, not too slow. They're just doing it, and they're doing it right. So
and Joseph Boza pointed out, which we've kind of touched on the past few after shows, is that Mike and Rochelle are the example of a cat with 9 lives. But now they have 10 lives because it's 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So they've survived 10 legs of the race, so now they're a cat with 10 lives.
Yeah.
How is episode 10 already, by the way? I feel like we just started this season.
I know, it's crazy. Someone said, I think Laura is just hungover.
We'll have to ask her. Well, once Matt and Ashley and Laura and Tyler go back to the plaza where the shoe shine stand was, before Matt and Ashley could even get their clue to proceed with the rest of the leg, they got their speed bump. And this speed bump, they had to use an old-fashioned typewriter to type a llama loan application. And I go back to one of the comments that was just in the chat from Saul Perez about how, I think it was Saul Perez that said the speed bumps are so dumb. And we've talked about this.
Yeah.
They're just
so dumb.
It's like a space filler just to add more, I guess, content or substance to an episode, but it's just so not necessary.
Here's the thing, though, James. I think, I agree that I think they're all really ridiculous. This took it to a whole new level. Like, what? You're just watching them type on a typewriter. Are you kidding me? Make them like ride the llamas around the town. Like, I
While
don't know.
typing.
I mean, come on, this is a television show. Your job is to keep viewers engaged. And why was the idea? Wouldn't that be great television if they sit down and type on a typewriter? Dun dun dun.
The most challenging thing of that speed bump was him trying to figure out how to get it back to the beginning of the line.
What riveting television.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, am I seriously watching this right now? Like, I just lost 2 seconds of my life.
Funny.
And what's bad is the bar is set so low for speed bumps.
Yeah.
We're not expecting anything. But when that happened, I was like, oh dear God.
I miss the days where they would take away all your belongings. Like, I remember back in the early seasons, Family Edition sticks out to me. They would literally take all your belongings.
Yep.
Oh,
so all you could race with the rest of the time of the show was the clothes on your back and your fanny pack. You don't have your backpack. You don't have anything to exchange.
Nope.
Just everything you're wearing. And then some seasons was they took away all of your money. So at the beginning of the leg, you're like bartering and asking people in the streets, like, please, I'm poor, help me.
See, that would be funny to see someone like putting out a hat and trying to like dance to get money or something. Like, that would be funny.
Bring that back. Because I'm sure the Amazing Race cares exactly what we think on our AfterBuzz show. But anyway, bring it back, darn it.
I'm reading back to Saul Perez. He said, remember when speed bumps used to be when they had to do both detours? And that's Marco Polo brings to the point, well, that's why we have U-turns for that now.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like with speed bumps, if you're given an extra life in the game, there needs to be more at stake.
Yeah,
not just
you're
sitting at a
staying
typewriter with llamas around you. So, once teams figured out the shoe shine stand and got their clue, their route info told them that they would be traveling by taxi to Fundo San Fernando, a rural farmland outside of the city, to find Quartal number 1, which led them to the roadblock this episode, which the clue was, who wants to take charge in the field? One team member must harvest a section of sugarcane by chopping all the pieces from a field. Once they cut up a row, a farmer would give them their next clue. Jenny and Jaylani got the date night and they're clear.
Yes.
What did you guys think of this roadblock before we talk about it?
I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, I would totally be down, and I would just like, I think it was Blair told Haley, this is a good way for you to take out your anger.
Yep.
I would just be whacking those things, and I think it's a cool experience. I've never cut sugarcane before. I think it'd be fun, and I just like whacking things, so.
I mean, no, I totally agree. It was a neat way to see the culture, a neat way to see, you know, everything about it. Here's the only thing I kind of wish, and maybe I'm just cruel. I know all the races were shocked at how long it was, but kind of to be honest and say I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this was the opportunity to really see what you're made of, because they seemed, it was hard work, but I want to see them like literally crumble because of exhaustion. Like, you're getting towards the end of the Amazing Race. You're already tired. I feel like it would have been a little bit better television had it been almost even like twice as long. The sun's going down, your body's aching, you're still hacking, like really make them want that $1 million.
Well, you saw the girls struggle a little, but the guys, they just whipped through it like it was no big deal.
Because, yeah, I mean, so Jenny and Jolene got it, but I also love was when Blair and Haley got there. You're right. Haley decided, she's like, I can do it. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be so good. But you know what? I got to give credit where credit is due. She did a pretty good job.
She did.
You know, she's got some aggression issues. So she
did say that, which goes back to Blair said, this is a great way to let out her anger. And she cuts to her saying, this is helping me get out my frustration with Blair. So, hey, it worked. I mean, the fighting kind of helps sometimes,
and she, as she was cutting, she was like, I never yell, but I'm yelling. And I was like, girl, did you just say you never yell? Like, whoa.
Oh, she does.
Rewind.
Oh, she does.
So good. And then, of course, when Laura and Rochelle are watching, you know, Mike and Tyler do the roadblock, they were really supportive and encouraging, being like, you got this, boy.
Yeah.
So
Mike did a great job. I mean, he's not the epitome of, like, peak physical condition as far as, you know, athleticism.
Right.
But, I mean, like we said, just keep your head down, do a good job, stick at it. And I was really glad also that Matt from Matt and Ashley decided that he did it, because he is so strong. He wasn't that, because of the speed bump was so ridiculous. You saw that when Matt got there, other teams were still there. They were driving away, but at least I knew as a viewer they were still in the running. And I appreciated that. Like, I was excited to see that.
And Matt was seriously doing like 3 canes in one whack. I mean, he was just, I want to know actually how long it took him, because it looked like he just boom, 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 in, out, let's go.
He's fighting for his life.
And just to bring up what you said, Jess, what you loved about this roadblock is that, you know, when are you ever going to chop sugar cane? It's kind of a neat experience, which we saw Jenny and Haley say. It was a really humbling experience, because you actually see and get to experience what these workers do just to harvest sugar cane. It's a lot of hard work. So to be able to put yourself in the shoes of the locals of the country that you're traveling in for the Amazing Race, I just think it brings perspective to the world around you.
It does, because they did it for, let's say, an hour. I'm not sure, but those people do it for 8 hours. 5,
every day,
6, 7 days a week, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
We have a lot of people talking about how this leg of the race was the leg of chores. That first person to bring that point up was Marco Polo, and then Joseph Boza adding onto that topic is that he felt like chores had to be done this leg. It was a publicity leg for Fitbit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a big Amazing Race episode. It was a Fitbit inspired episode.
And, I mean, I feel like, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like in past seasons there's been, you know, somewhat product placement. I was taken a little aback, though, by the whole Fitbit thing in this episode. It just kind of seemed to throw off the pace of the race when they were like, oh, let's talk about this Fitbit. And even, like, the sound bites from the racers being like, in the middle of the race, like, I love my Fitbit. I'm like, all right, come on. Like, that's a little much.
And, you know, okay, I can't be biased, because I
almost wore my Fitbit today.
You're wearing your Fitbit.
I'm wearing a Fitbit. I love it. But
are they paying you to do this too? I mean, have they gotten you too, Jess? I mean, here I was just complaining.
No, but no joke. I would never, like, not even, like, to my friends, I'm like, oh my God, I did this many steps today. And, like no one cares except for you. So the fact that they're showing this on national television, like, we could care less how many steps they need to, you know, take to burn X amount of calories. Because every person's different. Who cares? No. So it was just total fluff and unnecessary. Okay, check the box. We get Fitbits are cool. We don't need to do math calculations.
Michael Rathbun said, now they should start putting a Fitbit on Travelocity gnomes while riding in a Ford Focus. 3 birds with 1 stone for all the sponsors of the Amazing Race. And
that so far, I think, is the comment of the hour. That's my favorite comment so far. See if you can outdo them.
And Saul Perez says, I don't mind the product placement, but don't but he doesn't like it when all the teams have to act like they're so in love or so amazed
And that's what I was
by
thinking
this
about.
product.
At least with the Ford Focuses, they just do a tight camera shot of the car. That works for me. It was the sound bites of the racers all saying, "Oh, I love having them count my 1,237 steps. What would I do without my Fitbit?" Come on, no one's talking like that
Right.
in the middle of the race.
Yeah.
Now I wish I would have worn my Fitbit like you, Joe.
Come on, James.
Cool. You're the uncool one.
I didn't think about it. Before we move on to the second half of this episode, I just want to remind all of you out there right now, because we have about 30 people watching live on YouTube. 31, excuse me.
Hi.
The only problem I have with that is there's 31 watching. Guess how many thumbs up we have? 6. There's
Guys.
31 of you guys in that chat, and I know you see that thumbs up under this video. All you have to do is click that thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, then copy and paste that link in your browser, tweet it, post it on Facebook, Instagram it, Tumblr it, Pinterest it, whatever social media platform you have, so everyone can share in the wealth that you do by watching our after show. It's that easy.
And also give suggestions on what we can do. You guys, you have so many opportunities right now to make us do the most ridiculous things.
Exactly.
So for the final episode, you guys tell us what we can do.
You're in control.
I'm really nervous right now. Really nervous. Because these folks that are listening right now, they're quick, and they're sharp, and they're funny, so I'm terrified.
I'm excited.
That's a recipe for
I want to hear what you
disaster
guys
for
have
us.
to say.
Me too.
I do not. Don't listen to them.
And then once you guys like that with the thumbs up and shared the link with everyone out there that you know, make sure you head over to iTunes and give us 5 stars and leave your comments and your feedback, just so we know what we can maybe do better, what you'd like to see us do for next season, because we'd love to hear your input. It's what makes our after show as amazing as it is.
Oh, people are saying that they gave a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.
Yay!
Oh, wait, who said
That makes
this?
me
Justin?
happy. Justin is so funny. He's so true with that statement. At least in the Big Brother house last season, it wasn't that bad with Fitbit. It was mentioned here and there.
Oh, there we go.
So they agree with you.
Yeah.
At least someone out in the world does. It's nice
By the way, now we're up to 17 thumbs up. Again, there's 31 of you watching, only 17 thumbs.
James will find you. Like, don't think that he won't. You're going to get some message via Facebook. Why didn't you give us a thumbs up? So trust me, if you want to avoid the wrath of James Wallington, thumbs up.
All right, you guys, moving on to the second half of this episode. Once teams completed the roadblock, they had to head to Parque Ramon Castillo in Atusco, high above the Andes Mountains, to get their next clue. After they delivered their sugarcane there, there's also a side note, which is now we're talking about the Fitbit, where they had to check their Fitbit charges and write down the steps and calories on the enclosed card because they'll need it later. Once they get to Parque Ramon Castillo, they were told that they would have to use this information to figure out how many steps it would take to burn off the 576 calories from the pure sugarcane juice.
That's a high calorie juice right there.
Yeah.
High calorie and lots of sugar.
And lots
Yes.
of sugar. You know what I found interesting about this part of the race was that I feel like one of you guys have been there as well. I've traveled a little bit in Peru, and I've been up into the mountain cities. What's so crazy is the elevation is so high. It's like twice the height of Denver. So I got altitude sickness as well. So no wonder why they're all panting so hard, because it is incredibly difficult to run or even like power walk up steps. So
I can imagine.
I have mad props to everyone during this part of the race, because like I said, it's brutal for anyone that's ever been hiking anywhere in the mountains. It's tough.
I just want to give a few shout outs just really quickly. We have Steven Sosa, who said, "This is the best after show cast in my opinion. Thank you so much." Marco Polo, you've been thumbed up, you guys. Then we have Only Nature Lasts 1234, which I believe is a new username. I have not seen that on our after show yet, and they said, yes, this is definitely the best after show. So thank you, Only Nature Lasts. Welcome to the Amazing Race after show. So thanks, guys, for your really sweet comments.
We feel really good about ourselves now. It's like therapy for us.
So once they calculated the right amount of steps, etc., from their Fitbit, that's when the instructor would give them their next clue, which was the detour.
By the way, I wish
Yes.
they would, real quick, I kind of thought it was crap they got a calculator. Like, you don't make it a challenge. Let's make it fun. I want to see them pull out their, like, old math skills and have to, like, divide big numbers. Like,
Right.
That'd be great.
Well,
I
and
don't
also
know.
it would have shown, like, okay, people who were good at math would have had an advantage. People who were bad at math.
This is big clumsy calculus. Like, oh, come on, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm being
I
whiny
agree.
now. But
I was
that
really
would have been
surprised.
funny to, like, see them on a chalkboard, like, trying to figure out how to multiply these numbers. And, math is hard.
So with the detour, Mamas or Papas, and Mamas, teams had to walk through the busy streets of the marketplace searching for 5 different shops to pick up 9 ingredients to make a Peruvian moonshine brew. They would deliver them to an elderly lady known as La Señora de la Chica to receive their next clue. And Papas, teams went to a lush potato field to pick potatoes, where they would have to separate them by group, then deliver them to the market to divide them into separate bins. Once they perfectly divided their potatoes, they'd receive their next clue. Based on what you would know from this clue, which part of this detour would you have chosen? Mamas or Papas?
I would have chosen Mamas.
Well, watching it, I would have wished to have chosen Mamas, of course.
Right.
I felt like that was blatantly the easier choice.
Way easier.
However, that being said, we've seen past seasons and episodes, anytime a big marketplace is involved, I don't know the Spanish language.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have chosen Papas, and that would have sucked. So, I mean, not knowing what was ahead, Papas for sure.
I thought for sure you would have chosen moonshine, a little alcohol
Right, the
involved.
alcohol.
Yeah, right?
I just would have been scared of the marketplace. I would have gotten lost.
Yeah, the market.
and, you know.
The market always scares you in these places.
Yeah.
What would you have done, Jess?
I would have chosen Mamas.
Mamas? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
Well, I would have definitely chosen Mamas as well. And now everyone in the chat, this is your time to vote. What would you have done, Mamas or Papas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you decide to do Papas, because it seems like you would have wanted to do Mamas,
I would
yes.
have wanted to do Mamas, but if you were saying if I was in their situation and
You would've
not
chose
knowing what's
Popeyes.
ahead, I probably just reading it would have chosen to avoid a busy marketplace and just gone to a set field where I knew it was at. I thought I would feel like it would take me the easier route. Clearly not.
Right.
Sure. So everyone in the chat, Mamas or Papas, what part of the detour would you
I
have
like
done?
it when you call me big. Papa. Throw your hands in the air. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
For Mamas, we had Haley and Blair, Mike and Rochelle, and then Laura, Tyler, and Matt and Ashley wanted to do the Mamas part of this detour, but Laura and Tyler, their taxi took them to the potato field.
That sucks.
And then Matt and Ashley, we saw them kind of be in the marketplace where Laura and Tyler were dividing the potatoes.
Because they also wanted to do Mamas.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then Laura and Tyler went, oh, you guys are at the wrong part of the detour. And that's when they told their taxi, this is the wrong part. And then the taxi took them.
They were
To
in
the
the right.
beginning.
And
Yeah.
That's why I was saying this is the second time because they did the same thing with the shining of the shoes. Stop listening to Tyler and Laura.
I know.
And they would have been fine both times.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that Tyler and Laura have a better shot.
Okay,
of
but
winning,
they
so I'm glad it happens.
they ask their taxi drivers, like, you took us to Mama's. We want to go to Papa's. Do they know like where Mama's and Papa's is?
I mean, I thought the same thing, but I'm guessing on their sheet, I'm sure there was a column for Mamas and a Papa's. They're probably just pointing, being like, you took us to
okay.
Mama's, take us to the Papa's challenge.
Yeah, because I was
you know?
like, did
There's
the
no place
drivers?
for Papa's.
Yeah.
I'm sure the clue had like the name of the potato field where the marketplace was the city's marketplace, which is
Yeah.
probably more self-explanatory.
Right.
But it seems like in the chat right now, a lot of people are saying Mamas with one Papas, and the one Papas was Gary Barahona.
Thanks, Gary.
Gary Barahona. I think that's the only Papas I see on here.
Everyone else is not being honest. I mean, because they've seen the episodes. So they know
Right.
that Mama's is easier, so they're just saying Mama's.
Yeah.
Well, then we have Paula Mangarelli. She said, I'm all about potatoes. Hi, Paula.
She's from Idaho.
So Jenny and Jelani just went straight to Papa's. They didn't have any problems getting to their part of the detour, and Haley and Blair didn't have any problem getting to the Mama's part of this detour. So since Haley and Blair and Jenny and Jelani were so far of the other teams, we kind of saw them both doing their detours back and forth. Haley and Blair seemed to do the Mama's section like a piece of cake.
Oh.
So fast.
No issues, especially with Blair being able to speak Spanish.
Right. They
Killed
didn't
it.
even argue.
No.
But I think it showed, though, that the Mamas was so much easier because then, at first, I thought Mamas was just easy because Blair could speak the language. But then you see Mike and Rochelle, who do not speak any Spanish, and they seem to breeze through it as well. So
Right.
the list must have been very, very clear on what to ask for and where to go because it ended up not being so much about the language for this. It just was that easy.
Yeah.
Well, and I think being the other end of the spectrum, because you said you wouldn't want to be in a marketplace, it's too busy, there's a lot going on. The perk of being in the marketplace is that a lot of these people, I'm sure, go to the marketplace every day, at least twice
That's
a
true.
week. So to be able to ask the locals, this is the shop that I need to go to find this ingredient. Can you tell me where to go?
Yeah.
It would seem to be a lot more direct answer.
Right.
Right?
And then on the Papa's side, I was surprised how I mean, I guess you didn't really know how you were going to sort them out, but I liked how Laura and Tyler pretty much sorted them once they got there.
Agreed.
And so I thought that was smart because you could just literally grab the potatoes and sort them right into the bins, which I thought was really clever. But the second that the girl lifted up that wood and they all just went flying down back to the floor, oh my God, I felt everyone's pain. Like the reactions on their face.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting it.
All of your labor just went away.
It was in the preview, I know, from the episode from the week before. And so, if you are listening and you didn't have a chance to watch the show, what happened was when you sort the potatoes, if even one potato, I would say, just throw out a number, maybe 300 potatoes, let's say.
Yeah.
If even one was put into the wrong bin based on color and type of potato, a woman would pull the string and it completely dumped all of your potatoes that you just sorted onto the street of the marketplace, and the reaction was priceless.
Oh, because they sorted them out so carefully, and if just, like you said, if just one was wrong, boom.
So Jenny, and we didn't know this was going to happen because Jenny and Jelani did it exactly right, and as soon as they did it the first time, they got the clue and moved on, but then we saw that Laura and Tyler missed one. They lost all the potatoes again, and then sadly, Matt and Ashley as well. Matt and Ashley was great because Matt treated it like it wasn't part of the challenge and that this woman had just screwed up.
Yeah,
Like, he didn't realize.
He was like,
"Why'd you do that? Why did you do that?"
Yeah, and everyone had to do it just twice. Thank gosh, because that would have been brutal.
I would have been so stressed out.
Oh my gosh. And I loved how Laura and Tyler, no joke, spitting on the potatoes. Like spitting on them to really see what color they were, which would have helped sort them. Very clever. But I thought that was hilarious that they're just spitting. Like, good. Hopefully those people wash them because.
Hopefully they just threw them out.
Yeah.
Michael Rathbone makes a really good point. This is when we saw Tyler a little angry or frustrated, and we haven't seen that side of him this entire
because he threw one of the
race.
potatoes. It looked like
my anxiety would have been so bad. I'm sure I would have grabbed one and just been like, and smashed it.
I would have probably thrown one at the girl. Poor girl. How'd you do that?
I can't see you do that. Oh, I paid to do it.
Oh, jeez.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Arrowman who just joined in on the conversation.
Where have you been?
Where have you been? He said, sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? You missed a lot. You're going to have to go back and watch this when we're done going live.
Yeah.
And because you're late, you have to give a suggestion on what we need to do for reaching 10,000 views
That's
for our
your
final
That is your
episode.
Exactly.
We'll be expecting a suggestion from you.
Once teams finished this detour, the route info told them that they would be traveling to the next pit stop, the statue of Virgin de la Puerta. In first place, Haley and Blair.
Dun, dun, dun.
In second place,
hashtag BFFs.
Oh, BFF. Yeah.
And before we're going to the second
talk about
place,
what they won. Is that what you want to talk about?
Yes.
The Fitbit package.
Of course, Fitbit. Although I'm not gonna lie, that package sounds kind of cool. Would I want it versus cash? No, but it comes with a phone,
Gym membership,
laptop, computer,
a laptop, all of these really cool
everything.
thingies.
It started getting better, but I don't know, just very cynical of me. I was kind of like, ha ha ha, because normally it's like you want a trip to Oslo or you want a Ford Focus, and they're like, you want a bracelet, yeah.
You want a bracelet.
It seemed like the short of the stick for winning a race. I'm not gonna be
That's
honest.
so funny.
I'm gonna be honest. So yeah. Anyway, James, I want to talk about that Fitbit prize real fast. That sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then second place you were saying?
Jenny and Jelani. Third place, Mike and Rochelle. Fourth place, Laura and Tyler. And then last place and eliminated this episode, Matt and Ashley. We say goodbye
Justin
to
is
our
down
hairstylist.
to one team.
Oh.
Just all I have left is Laura and Tyler, and then of course James has all the other teams.
Yeah,
This is
you
such
still have
crap,
three.
James.
You
This is
still have
such
all of your
crap.
three.
Jess
How is
has
that possible?
Half a team.
I have
And then
I have two halves, so like one team.
I
So we're
guess
kind
just
of
the
equal.
universe
Yeah.
was just working in my favor the first episode.
Oh gosh.
Now,
But
let's say this,
Matt and Ashley had a great run, a great season. They got engaged on the show.
they did.
Their relationship, they just said the relationship grew very strong and they grew close to one another. So were, they had a great leg.
I don't know about you guys, but I think if they ever were to do an All-Stars again, at some point I can see them doing it. I think Matt and Ashley would probably be a strong contender, like, after they've been married. You know what I mean? So now they're, like, the married couple, like, are newly married.
That would
the
be
newlyweds.
cute, yeah.
And they were good on camera.
And they were, I mean, they're memorable. They were strong racers and just had a streak of bad luck and maybe they'll learn not to be followers, because they seem to be following Laura and Tyler so much this leg, which was their downfall. But I'm kind of relieved, because if I had to choose who I would rather win, I would say I'm glad Laura and Tyler are still in the game.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I think they have a better shot of winning.
Yes.
I love them. I want them to go all the way.
So thanks to Allie, we got our updated fantasy team points. Jess has 47, Justin has 61, and then I have 86.
Oh. I mean, is it even let's do this.
He's like doubled mine.
I mean, it's not far off. So, can we say, like, if just rub that in a little bit more? I mean, James, can we say if our team wins the race? Because normally you get like 5 points if your team gets first in the leg.
Just needs to be like 50 bonus points.
What do you get point wise if you win the final? If you win, I mean, should it be 20? Because that way Jess still has. Because if it's 25, you'd have a shot still, but only if they win. So, I mean, that could be kind of exciting. But if you think that's total crap now, James,
no,
I think
let's do it. Let's do 25.
I'm sure
if your team gets first place, the final leg, in the $1 million, that comes with 25 extra bonus points. Because as of right now, that still won't do me any good, because then we'll be tied. But
I will say, even though I have 3 teams still left, not a lot of people are on my team. Everyone's on Team Justin.
Yeah, really?
Especially now that you share a birthday with 2 of our viewers.
Look at you.
Yeah, they'd better totally be on Team Justin. We share birthdays.
Saul and Marco Polo are on Team Justin.
June 18th.
Oh,
I have one Team James, Ninja Puddles.
She's just being nice. She feels
Ninja
bad
Puddles.
for you. She's really on Team Justin.
Anybody else want to be a cheerleader with me?
Why?
Hashtag cheerleader.
You got 46 points.
I know.
Girl, please. They've all abandoned ship.
He's so mean.
It's all out of love.
All right, you guys, let's dive into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
By the way, I know we're almost running out of time for our after show today, but I want to challenge everyone who's listening right now before we talk about predictions. There's only 21 thumbs up. Okay?
James, you and these thumbs.
21 thumbs up. That means 9 of you are not thumbsing-upping.
Did you thumbs it up?
I did thumbs it up.
Good. So
That
did I.
means there are a few of you who are not thumbsing-upping.
Hashtag thumbsing.
That's how it's such a good rating. James just harasses you.
Yeah.
I would like to see if we get all 31 thumbs before the end of our after show in 5
That
minutes.
sounds so funny. All right, let's drive into predictions.
Justin, what are your predictions for
I really don't know anymore. I mean,
I know.
At this point, anyone could win. Anyone could go home. So if I just have to choose someone, once again, I said it last week and then they got second, but I just don't think Jenny and Jelani are getting good at it. They don't seem to be being set up by the show to be memorable enough to make it to the final 3.
Yes.
We said it last week, that didn't work. So I'm going to say it again this week, going home, Jenny and Jelani.
All right.
You know what? Why the hell not? I want to see... It'd be fun to see Mike and Rochelle get first.
That would be good.
You know what?
I
They're
like
not on my team. I think they're cute, and they have, why not? They did it once already.
Right.
Maybe this is, I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm giving up at this point. Mike and Rochelle.
All right.
So for some weird reason, I have this gut instinct that it's going to be a non-elimination so that all 4 teams actually race to the finish line. So that's what I'm going to say.
I didn't even think about that. Oh, well, I'm sticking with what I said, but you could
What about
very well be
first?
right.
Oh, and for first, you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there and say Laura and Tyler.
Love it. But here's the thing, though. Even if it's non-elimination, you can't cop out. If it's not a non-elimination... I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
So for first place, I'm going to say Laura and Tyler, and last place, I'm going to say Jenny and Jelani.
Got it. But then you think it'll be non-elimination, so they'll still go on.
Right.
Got it.
I also think it's going to be a non-elimination just because last season we had 4 teams race to the finale, and then Brooke and Robbie got the cut before even making it to that final leg, even though they were in the final city. So I would say it's a non-elimination, but I'm going to say Jenny and Jelani. If it is last place, will be them. And I'm going to say first, I'm going to say Haley and Blair again, because I think that they're picking up momentum. A lot of the people in the conversation right now are saying that Haley and Blair could potentially win. They have that consistent edit of their story, and I think maybe they'll be able to come out on top by putting their differences aside. Who knows? But I would really like to see Mike and Rochelle win.
Right.
There we go.
So
There we
those are
go.
our
Let us know what you guys
predictions.
think in the comments.
And also, don't forget
Thumbs up.
to thumbs up. No, just kidding. Don't forget to leave suggestions of what we need to do for our finale after show.
Tweet
because
us,
we need them.
YouTube comment.
I want to be able to come here next week for our after show with 3 suggestions from all of you guys to
It's
vote
like homework.
on.
It's like a homework assignment.
It is a homework assignment.
In
You are loyal
500
to our
words
after
or
show.
less,
Yes.
single-spaced word, 12-point font area. Thanks.
So do that, and then, yeah, that's great. I think that's perfect. Justin, where can they find you?
You all can find me on pretty much any social media platform at Justin J. Nichols, Nichols.
And you guys can find me at DressJessXO. And also check out my blog. I have a really awesome margarita recipe for tomorrow because it's Cinco de Mayo.
Woo-hoo.
So head over there. It's just DressJessXO.com.
Won't regret
And
it.
you can find me on Twitter at James Wallington and on Instagram at James.Wallington. And I'm also on YouTube. I'm vlogging now all of my travels called Where's Wallington. So make sure you check that out because I'll be going to Ecuador next month for 12 days.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so I'll have a little
For
amazing
fun or for
fun with my
project?
mom. A little amazing race adventure, you can say. So
fun.
You should make an Amazing
Yeah.
Race video while you're there.
we should. James and Sally at Amazing Race 27.
Yes.
All right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We have 36 people watching live. That's the most I think we've had on this after show. So
Yay.
thanks to you guys for tuning in each and every week. We will see you guys next Monday. Have a great week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.